Hey friends, Cold Stare here, and I'm back with another Hunter Pet Tame video. And this one we're going to go all over Azeroth once again to discover 10 unique and rare Hunter Pet Tames. You may notice that I won't be covering the specialization for each pet in this video, and that's because Hunters got a great quality of life change in the recent patch, where we can choose our pet specialization just by visiting the stable master, so that was a huge win for us. Also, I was looking at the analytics for my YouTube channel, and I noticed that less than 5% of the viewers for my videos are subscribed. So if you could please subscribe if you enjoy the video, it helps me and it's free to you. Now let's get into the video. First up is Slurpo the Incredible Snail, a charapid found in the Waking Shores. And you'll notice that Slurpo is an exotic pet, so you'll need to be in Beast Mastery Specialization in order to tame. And it all begins by heading to these coordinates in the Azure Span just south of Brackenhide Hollow, where we're going to find a cave. And in the back of this cave, you'll find some magical salt crystals you can interact with. So go ahead and head in there and loot the salt. Once you have the salt in your inventory, we're now going to head back to the Waking Shores into Slurpo's cave. And once you enter the cave, you're going to have an extra action button that allows you to throw the salt into the pool, and that's what's going to draw out Slurpo. If you walk into the cave and the extra action button isn't there, that just means that Slurpo's on a respawn timer right now. You'll know he is available though, because you'll see all these little snails around the pool. And then you'll use your extra action button, and that will spawn Slurpo. Not a unique skin, but S tier title, one of my favorite titles probably of any of the pets I have. Not too sure about the respawn timer, but it didn't take too long for me. Great addition to your stable, really worth getting. Next up is Forgotten Gryphon, a feathermane also found in the Waking Shores not too far from where we tamed Slurpo. And what makes this an interesting pet tame is not only is it a feathermane, it's also an undead, which means you'll need the simple tome of bone binding and the tome of the hybrid beast. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to cover how to get those, but I will provide a link in the description box. You're going to keep an eye out on these coordinates, and you'll know it's there because you'll see one of those elite rare markers. It does seem to prefer spawning in the evening time, and it can be on a pretty long respawn timer, so just keep your eye out for it, and eventually it'll be there. If you can, you also want to try and get a selfie with it, as it is part of the Birdwatcher title that you get from the That's Pretty Neat achievement. But there it is, it's a great looking opaque model, a unique skin, so you won't find any other Gryphon with that look. So definitely worth getting. Next up is Marsh Gulper, a hopper found in Tanan Jungle. Marsh Gulper does not have a unique skin, title, or taming process, but what does make it so unique is this is the smallest pet you can tame in Azeroth. At least I'm pretty sure. If you know of a smaller one, please feel free to comment in the box below and let me know. For scale, here's Marsh Gulper next to what I also believe is my largest pet in my stable, Lord Ashkurai. Just a comically small, really fun little pet that every hunter should have in their stable. So it all begins by heading to Tanan Jungle. Once there, you're going to find right at these coordinates on the map, a bunch of Marsh Gulpers hopping around. What's also interesting about Marsh Gulper is you'll notice it's a perfectly normal sized toad until the taming process. It isn't until after you tame it that it becomes very tiny. And don't worry, I'm not exposing some fun secret that's going to get nerfed. This pet has been like this for no less than 7 years now. So if Blizzard was going to nerf this, they would have by now. So great addition to your stable, really fun. Hope you decide to come get it. Another unique hunter pet tame is a Glimmerpool Crystalback, a great looking turtle found in Bastion. And this one doesn't have a unique skin or title, but the way you go about getting it to spawn is unique, so that's why I made the list. So go ahead and head to Bastion, and just south of the Citadel of Loyalty, you're going to find sleeping on a rock in a pool an elite turtle near an anima shrine. And typically it's going to have this gray and blue skin, but when it respawns, it has a chance to be the golden blue variety. So go ahead and kill them until that golden blue variety spawns. It's on about a 5 or 6 minute respawn timer, and it took me around 7 or 8 tries to get it to appear. So just stick with it and you'll eventually find one. And since it's a turtle, that means all 300 specializations will be able to tame it. In fact, there's only 2 exotic beasts out of the 11 in this video. So there's a little foreshadowing for you. I said 11 pets, not 10. But anyway, there it is. It's got great detail. Kind of feel like turtles are a little underappreciated as hunter pets, but I really love these crystalbacks. So good luck. Hope you decide to come tame it. Here's a unique skin rodent we got with the recent patch, Radioactive Subject, found in the Undermine. And it's hanging out on top of a building in the Vat Works, which makes it difficult to get to since there's no flying in Undermine. And one of the easiest ways to get there is with the Backstrap Missile. These can be looted from mislaid curiosities found all throughout Dell, so try and get your hands on some of those. Once you do, just head to these coordinates in the Vat Works, and you're going to want to line up with the buildings just like I am here. You'll see that I circle with the cursor there. That's what we're aiming for. You want to be careful because when the missile explodes, it kind of slingshots you in a direction that can catch you off guard, so be prepared to disengage to correct that kind of trajectory you're on. Anyway, once you're up at the top, it's a pretty straightforward pet tame. I believe there's only one radioactive subject in the whole zone up at a time, so if you want that matching pet, you're just going to sit there and wait for it to respawn. Didn't take too long for me. If you can't get your hands on a backstrap missile, there's another way to get up there, so go ahead and head to these coordinates in the heaps and make sure you bring 2 goblin gliders with you. The first one we're going to use to launch right into these pipes, right where I circle with the cursor. You'll bump into it, don't worry, you're going to glide right underneath it. And then we're just going to keep using disengage all the way as we traverse across these pipes to reach the Vat Works. I'm going to speed it up because it is a pretty lengthy run. Also, I'm sure there is another, maybe easier way that I'm just not aware of to get up to the top of the building in the Vat Works to reach the radioactive subject. If you know of any, please feel free to comment them in the box below. Share that with other viewers, but anyway, once you reach the end here, you should be able to see the radioactive subject hanging out right there. Now we're just waiting for the goblin glider to come off cooldown. And yeah, you're just going to glide right on down, and like I said, real easy, straightforward pet tame. Isn't too long of a respawn if you want that second one, so interesting pet that I think you should come out and get. Hydrol Stagbeak is a unique skin hippogriff that can be found in the viridescent thicket of Amirjasil. And if you're not familiar with how to get to Amirjasil, you're going to head to your faction's portal hall and take the Belemith portal. Doesn't matter if you're Horde or Alliance, both have access to it. Once there, you're going to go ahead and head to these coordinates on the map. And roaming around will be a group of several of the Hydrol Stagbeak, so go ahead and find the one you like and tame it. Just keep in mind it is a feathermane, so you'll want to make sure you have that tome of the hybrid beast in order to tame. They made the list because it retains its unique name. It's got a unique skin no other hippogriff has, and it's in an area not many people go to. If you're ever bored, I really recommend you come explore this place. It's really cool. It has lots of cosmetics to discover. But yeah, Hydrol Stagbeak's a great match for Netherbeak too, if you happen to have that pet in your stable. Gezzarak the Huntress is a warp stalker found in Terakar Forest. She doesn't have a unique skin, but she does have this interesting title she retains after taming. And similar to Torgos from the last Hunter Pet Tame video I did, she's a spawn mob in a quest line and in a zone not many people go to anymore, so real easy to miss, and that's why I made the list as a unique Hunter Pet Tame. So go ahead and head to these coordinates in Terakar Forest. And this all begins by accepting a quest from an NPC that's in a cage here named Hazik. The first quest of the quest line is going to be Ishal's Almanac, so go ahead and just follow that quest line up until you reach Adversarial Blood. Then you're going to just need to run around and kill these Arakoa NPCs, and we're trying to find 6 of these Shadow Dust. Once you have 6, return back to Hazik, and next to him is going to be this NPC named Severin, who's going to trade 6 Shadow Dust for an Elixir of Shadows. So go ahead and use that, and it lasts 20 minutes, I believe, and that's going to allow you to see these Time Lost Skedus NPCs, and we need to kill them to loot the Time Lost Scrolls. I believe you need 10 of the scrolls in order to summon the bosses for this quest, and that's going to be our opportunity to tame Gezzarak here. So go ahead and summon her. After a moment, she'll become hostile, and that'll be your opportunity to tame. And that's all there is to it. Since it's a Warp Stalker, all 3 Hunter specializations will be able to tame. And completing the questline to reach Adversarial Blood to tame Gezzarak really wasn't too bad. It took me about 15 minutes. Somberdawn is a unique skin courser that can occasionally be found galloping around in Deadwood Landing, a small island off the coast of Deliverance Point in the Broken Shore. And since it's a courser, that means all 3 Hunter specializations will be able to tame, no skill books required or anything like that. And you don't need to just set on the island and camp it. You can just check your map from anywhere. And when Somberdawn is up, you'll see this green skull there. And I believe it's up for about 30 minutes at a time, so just keep your eye out for it. Once you see it and you're ready to tame, just use your dollar on Hearthstone to get there quickly and fly south from there. This is Deadwood Landing, the tiny island I mentioned. And if you decide you want to, I believe Somberdawn's on about a 1-minute respawn timer, as long as you're in that 30-minute window. It respawns pretty quickly. If you have access to Nightmare and Ardenweald, that would be a great looking courser to go with Somberdawn. And I love pets like this. You can get really interesting transmogs to go with it, so definitely worth coming out and getting. Spirit of the North is a serpent that flies really high up in the air in a zone you probably haven't been to in a while, Buryan Tundra in Northrend. And the fact that it's flying so high up in the air makes this a difficult pet tame, and that's why it made the list. Not only is it a unique skin, it is a difficult pet to reach. So here's the coordinates. It is located in the caldera of Buryan Tundra. Now, if you read the comments section in Wowhead or the forums in Petopia, there's a lot of different strategies for trying to reach Spirit of the North to safely tame it. But the best way I have found is just using the toy fruit basket. I'll put a link for it in the description box. It's instant cast, it aggroes the pet without damaging it, so you use that, disengage to break the fall. Spirit of the North will come down, don't worry, it won't tether, and this will be your opportunity to tame. It is a unique skin, great looking serpent, you're not going to find this anywhere else. And here's another example of a great use for fruit basket. Banthalos, a spirit beast in Mount Hydrol that flies really high up and is difficult to reach. You see that? It's the fact that it's instant cast makes it so useful because you can get right next to the pet, use it. And yeah, there it is. Like I said, I'll provide a link in the description box on how to get that. And last but not least, Lighting Paw is a spirit beast that can be found hidden in Duskwood. It is an exotic pet, so you'll want to make sure you're in Beast Mastery specialization in order to tame. And in a family where there's Solarakas and Loknahawks and Blood Gullets, Lightning Paw kind of gets lost and forgotten about, I think, but I really love it. It has everything I'm after in a hunter pet tame. A unique name it retains, a unique skin no other fox or spirit beast has, and it's a fun hunt. It's fun trying to find him. So anyway, those locations on the map I showed, once there, you're looking for a bush with a blinking eye in it. That's where he can be. Doesn't mean he is there, but that's what we're looking for. So you're also going to want to make sure you have on Hunter Track hidden. And while you're looking for Lightning Paw, because Lightning Paw is hidden, you're going to keep your eyes on your mini-map. See that? And as long as you have track hidden on, we can see Lightning Paw. Once you've narrowed down where Lightning Paw is, you can use a tar macro to target him, because as you see here, Flare doesn't expose Lightning Paw. So you can use a target macro, or you can just mouse over. See that? You can mouse over Lightning Paw, target, trap, and tame. Lightning Paw does seem to be on about a 6 to 7 hour respawn timer, so probably best if you want that matching one just to leave your hunter there and check back in the next day or later on that day. So great pet that I think you should come out and tame. And since you made it all the way to the end of the video, I have one more surprise pet tame for you, Blight Hound, which can only be found in the Sunwell scenario. And this is more of a fun novelty pet tame to watch because I'm guessing most of you won't have access to this pet tame. This is a really rare pet that you're not going to see too many hunters with. And that's because you have to be a Blood Elf, and then you have to have access to the Blood Elf Armor Heritage questline. So if you've already done that, then you won't be able to, even as a Blood Elf, tame this. But anyway, it begins by being exalted with Silvermoon, and then you're going to kick off a questline with Lorthamar here, who's going to recount the Scourge invasion in Silvermoon, how the Sunwell was corrupted by Arthas. Really fun questline. I've done all the Heritage questlines, and the Sindori one is my personal favorite. Anyway, eventually, at the end of the questline, you will enter the scenario. And I'll try not to do too many spoilers, but after this moment here where you have a dialogue with Arthas, you're going to want to turn around and run down the hall ahead of your NPC party members, because if they're with you, they can start attacking the Blight Hound. And this is your moment right here to tame. So if you're not BM, you would tame Blight Hound right here, and then you just either complete the quest or Hearth out. But if you're Beast Mastery and you want that matching tandem pet, you would drop from group, which should put you right at the instance entrance again, and then you would re-enter, go through the dialogues again, and that would be your chance to tame a second. But yeah, there it is. It has a sort of opaque appearance with this really interesting pink glow. Super rare pet. You are not going to see many hunters with this, but just more wanted to show it to you for fun since you watched all the way to the end of the video. And that's 11 unique hunter pet tames. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, corrections, questions, anything, please feel free to leave them in the box below. If there's any of the pets in this video you plan on taming, I would love to hear from you. I'm really good about responding. If there's anything else you'd like to see from me, please let me know too. Otherwise, I will see you in Azeroth. Take care.